There is a woman at a big box store who's been in line since 5:30 in the morning for a water bottle. Not water itself, just the bottle. It's January. It's cold, and she has a blanket. But she's not there because she's thirsty. She's there because in 3 hours, when those doors open and the Valentine's Day limited edition color drops, she needs to be the kind of person who has the right cup. And here's the thing that I need you to hear before we go any further. That woman is not delusional. She's not being manipulated by some shadowy marketing conspiracy. She has done a perfectly rational calculation. She's looked at what the cup costs, what the cup means, what the cup communicates to the other women in her life who will see it in her cup holder in her car. And she has concluded that 5:30 in the morning in January is a fair price for what she is actually buying. And she's right. She's buying the right thing. The thing that she's buying, it isn't just a cup. It never was. It was always membership. That cup is the card. That cup is this season's dues. And the line? Well, that's the initiation rite. And this is the first episode of This Could Be Your Totem. And that woman in the parking lot? Well, she's going to teach us everything that we need to know about what a totem actually is. I'm April Rain, and This Could Be a Cult presents This Could Be Your Totem. So let's open the season. Welcome to This Could Be Your Totem. I'm April Rain, and if you've heard my other shows, you know how this works. And I'll tell you in a minute how this one is different. But if you're new, hello, welcome. You're going to want to go back and listen to the other ones first, but you don't actually have to, because this one stands on its own. So here is the premise. Every season, we look at different objects, consumer products, artifacts, things you own or things you want to own, or even things that you used to own. And we ask the same question about each one that anthropologists ask about sacred objects of traditional cultures. Is this a totem? A totem, in the original sense, is an object that a community organizes its identity around. Something that is, on the surface, a practical thing, like a cup or a phone or a bag or a pair of shoes, and is underneath the surface doing something else entirely, conferring membership, making hierarchy, organizing ritual, answering a need that has nothing to do with carrying liquid or making calls or putting something on your feet. The question that This Could Be Your Totem asks is not, are you being tricked? Because it's harder and actually more interesting than that. The question is, what need is this object actually meeting? And is the object the best available answer to that need? Or is it just the most beautifully marketed one? Sometimes the answer is yes, the object is actually right. And sometimes that answer is more complicated. Either way, let's find out. Episode 1, the Tumbler. Let's go. So before we can talk about the Tumbler, and yeah, you know the one, we need to have the conversation that this season depends on. And that conversation is, what is a totem specifically? And how do you know when a consumer product has become one? Because that word gets used pretty loosely, totem. And loosely is exactly what this show is not going to be. A totem, for the purposes of this show, is an object that does 4 things that a normal product does not. The first thing is that it conveys identity or membership way beyond its function. The tumbler holds liquid. Every $40 hydro flask holds liquid. But when you carry the tumbler, you're not carrying a liquid holder. You're signaling something about yourself to other people. And those other people, they've already learned to read the signal. The function is incidental. The communication, well, that's the whole point. So let's talk about the second thing that a totem does. A totem organizes ritual behavior. Not using the object, but the behaviors organized around the object. The color drop line, the unboxing videos, the display where you sit that big old thing in your car cup holder rather than putting it away in the cabinet, the specific cleaning ritual for it, the specific way the handle gets positioned. Because totems collect ceremony. Products just get used. And when a product starts collecting ceremony, it is slowly but surely becoming a totem. The third thing that I want you to keep in mind about totems is that totems command loyalty and a spend that exceeds its use value. The tumbler has a lifetime warranty. One should be sufficient for a lifetime, maybe two. And yet, the woman in the parking lot this morning has, by various counts, about 7 of them that I can see. 7 identical liquid holding vessels, all working perfectly. None of them that she needs to replace. She didn't buy 7 of these because she needed 7. She bought 7 because her particular totem has a seasonal calendar. And the calendar, it has a hold on her much stronger than the function of that tumbler ever did. Just a little side note that I want you to keep in mind. A product is used and replaced when it's broken. A totem is collected, it's displayed, it's upgraded, and it's defended. And the defense? Well, that's the tell. Because you don't defend a product, but you do defend a team. So the fourth thing and the last thing about totems, and this is the criteria that matters the most, is that a totem is filling a need the culture otherwise failed to meet. The tumbler is not just a cup. I mean, it is. But I want to say this with precision and without mockery. That cup is a belonging mechanism for a specific demographic of women who, in the years after a pandemic particularly, lost easy access to the casual, low-stakes daily sense of being in a social group. That tumbler is a group, and you can see who else is in it at Walmart, at the school pickup, at the airport, and at the hospital waiting room. That cup says, I'm a person just like you, and we are together, and this is who we are today. It is doing the work the culture should be doing in some other way. But the cup is the answer to a question that nobody asked out loud. The company behind the tumbler is over 100 years old. For most of that century, it sold vacuum-insulated steel thermoses to construction workers, hunters, and outdoorsmen. People who needed to keep coffee hot for 12 hours out in nature and on a job site. It was a utility product, and it was a good one. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't viral, it was just functional, durable, and mostly purchased by men, and mostly invisible to the cultural conversation at that time. A small consumer advice account run by a group of women noticed something about the tumbler, a product that the company had quietly been considering discontinuing because it just wasn't selling. They found it worked, and they told their audience, and their audience bought it, and the audience's audience bought it, and then something happened. Not because the company had changed the cup, but because the cup had finally found its people, and its people were not construction workers. They were women who drove minivans and had opinions about organizational systems and followed accounts that told them what to buy. The cup looked good. The handle worked. The straw worked. The cup holder fit. And it held 40 ounces, which for a person who is being told to drink half their body weight in ounces by the end of the day every day, by every wellness account that they follow on social media, that is a very specific kind of validation. So once those numbers started moving on that cup again, the company noticed, and they hired a new team. And then the company did the thing that converted a good product into a totem. It introduced scarcity. Not real scarcity, manufactured scarcity. Limited colors, Target exclusives, collaboration drops, Valentine's Day editions. The cup you could only get if you were there on that day in that store before they ran out. And manufactured scarcity is the single most powerful totem creation tool in the consumer arsenal, because manufactured scarcity converts a purchase into an event. And events are shared experiences. And that sharing creates community. And community creates identity. and identity creates loyalty. And that type of loyalty, no cup of any quality or any price could ever earn that type of loyalty on its own. And here is the piece of the story that all the feel-good versions leave out. The limited drops, they're not random. The colors are tested. The releases are timed. The FOMO is engineered. The big box stampede on a holiday drop morning, events that have been documented, reported, people running, people fighting over boxes, those are not organic expressions of enthusiasm. Those are the predictable output of a scarcity architecture that was designed deliberately to produce that type of reaction. The cup didn't make the crowd happen. The crowd was the product. The cup was just the vessel. So let's walk this mechanism, because the tumbler is the most legible totem on this season's list. It is the one where the moves are the most visible, and the visibility is what makes it the right opener for this season. So let's talk about those moves, shall we? Move 1, the identity signal. The tumbler in the correct colorway communicates to anyone who knows the code a cluster of things about its carrier. That she is organized, that she is wellness adjacent, that she is in the loop. She's got the color before it's sold out, which means that she has access, attention, and the right kind of social connections. The cup is a credential, and the credential cannot be bought generically. It has to be the right cup, the right color, and the right edition. The specificity of the credential is what makes it credentialing. Anyone can have a water bottle, but not everyone can have this one, especially in this color, and especially not right now. Move 2, well, that's the ritual, the cleaning ritual, the brush set, the specific cleaning order, the gasket maintenance. It is a devotional practice. The unboxing, if it's the new color, is a ceremony. The positioning in the cup holder rather than in the back seat, the angle of the handle, the photo taken for the post, these are not random behaviors. These are organized practices around the object. And the object, just like all totems, has attracted ceremony to itself. Move 3, well, that's the community. I mean, the Tumbler has TikTok communities, has its own TikTok account, actually. There are Facebook groups, dedicated Reddit threads. There are women who review the Tumbler colorways the way wine critics review vintages. There's a hierarchy of knowledge. Who knew about that drop first? Who got the rarest collaboration? Who has the original colors before the company went mainstream? The cup is not just owned, it is studied. There is clergy, and there are initiates, and there is a scripture. So let's talk about move number 4. And this is the one that actually makes it a totem rather than just a popular product. The cup is meeting a need the cup cannot actually meet. That woman in the parking lot at 5:30 in the morning is not solving a hydration problem. She's solving a belonging problem. She's reaching for a community, a calendar, or a reason to be somewhere at a specific time on a specific date among people who care about the same things that she does. The cup is the ticket. The community, well, that's the show. And the show is actually what she came for. And here is the piece that I want you to hold going into this season's later episodes. When the need is real and the object is the best available answer to it, the cup genuinely does build community. The cup genuinely does give its owner a shared language with other women. The cup genuinely is well-made and functional. The totem is doing something good, even if it's not doing the good thing that is initially intended on the label. And the question is never, is this product worth it? The question is always, do I know what I'm actually buying? And right now, most of the people in the Tumbler community don't even know that they are buying a membership. They think that they're just buying a cup. And the company needs them to keep thinking that. Because a person that knows that they are buying a membership Well, then that person might ask whether the membership is worth what the dues cost or not. Okay, so this is the part of every episode where I stop talking about the object itself and start talking about you and what's in your actual life. And I don't mean the Tumbler specifically, because this season's mirror moments are never about the specific object that we're covering. They're about the pattern that the object revealed. So when you're ready, here are the questions, and I want you to just sit with them. The first question that I want you to ask is there an object in your life that you own in multiples? Not because they broke, but because new versions keep being necessary. And the thing where enough just keeps moving a little bit out of arm's reach. I want you to notice what the thing promises with each new version. And I want you to notate whether that promise is different from what the last one promised. The next question that I want you to ask yourself is there something that you own that has a community organized around it? Does it have a subreddit? Does it have a Facebook group? Is it a TikTok niche? Is there an Instagram hashtag for it? And have you ever asked yourself what that community is for you specifically? And I don't mean what it's about. I mean, what's it for you? What does it give you that you weren't getting somewhere else? Because it's always given you something. The question is whether or not you know what that is. And so here's the one that matters the most this season, because this is the exact same question that I will come back to in different variations. Is there something that you carry, display, or photograph more than you actually use it? And I don't mean because you're posing or being fake, but I mean because the object communicates something when it's displayed that it can't communicate when it's sitting in a cabinet somewhere being useful. The object that means more when it's seen rather than when it's used has become a totem. That's not a failing. That's simply the name for what it is. So here's the thing that I want you to take into this season, and it's different from what I've said at the start of my other shows. This show is not a warning, or at least not primarily. The totems on this season's list are not all bad. I want you to understand that. Some of them are answering real needs beautifully. And some of them are answering real needs at enormous markups for something that you could get much more cheaply. And some of them are answering needs that exist simply because something else failed. All of that is worth knowing. But knowing it doesn't require burning anything down. It just simply requires being honest, in the quiet, about what you are actually carrying and what it is actually doing for you. The totem deserves to be seen clearly, and so do you. The tumbler is a century-old thermos that found its people. And when it found its people, it stopped being a thermos. It became a calendar, a credential, a community, and a color-coded season of belonging. And then the company figured out what had happened, and they engineered it, and they put it on a shelf in a big box retail store. And they let scarcity do what scarcity always does to people who are paying attention and afraid of missing the window. The woman at 5:30 in the morning was not foolish. She was doing exactly what her totem required of her. She was showing up, she was performing her membership, and she was being, for a very specific and quantifiable window of time, exactly the person that she needed to be. The person who got there first, who got the color, who has the cup. That is not nothing. That is a very human thing. The question is only whether a 40-ounce stainless steel vessel with a handle and a lifetime warranty is the right size vessel for it. You were always carrying something. The cup, well, that just made it visible.